Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Oklahoma Esports League. My name is Fuzzball, joined here with Rico, and today we're going to be watching some Rocket League. We're going to be watching Holdenville versus Caney. Holdenville taking that Week 1 loss, starting off at 0-1, and Caney actually hasn't played yet, so this will be a fresh showing for them.
This is going to be an interesting matchup because we've got, we've got two pretty good teams. We've got Holdenville coming from a loss, like you said, and Caney wanting to get themselves on the board. This is going to be an interesting game.
Yeah, both of these teams very hungry for that first win very early into the season, only being 1 week in. So these teams still trying to figure it out. Again, we've adjusted from that triples to the duos as we got into this next semester. Yeah. So a lot of adjustments there, and I believe we're getting a little close into getting into everything. A little bit of technical difficulties from what it looks like. But yeah, both of these teams in our Group 1A bracket, which is our smaller schools. So in Oklahoma, there's 1A through 6A, I believe. And in the OESL, they've split it up where basically your 1A, 2A, 3A schools are all in your Group 1, and then 4, 5, and 6 are all in your Group 2.
Right.
So we're watching our smaller school like subdivisions right now. So we do get into this first game here.
We are immediately going to see a goal come out from, I want to say that's, not too sure exactly what team is at the moment, but we are going to just get right into it.
Yeah, a little bit of a bug with the teams. Looks like our blue team here is going to be Holdenville, though, and our red team is going to be Caney, so their colors are lined up. Most likely trying to find something here.
We are going to see a demolition come out on the side of Caney.
Yeah, and we're actually going to come back to casters for a second while we try and figure out these technical issues because we're going to see a whole lot of the game.
Right.
There's this modification that we use called Bacchus mod that sometimes gets a little bugged out. That's looks like exactly what it was for that one as we're trying to get that adjusted here. Thank you all for being patient about that. Yeah, but even just starting there, it looked like Holdenville had a decent amount of pressure at the beginning of that game, trying to get some of the just early tempo. We talked about it being an early season, and just being able to get it there is also a really good potential. And there we go. We actually do have it there. Like I was saying, Holdenville, it looks like, actually down one with the teams swapped currently. Holdenville on that blue side, Caney on the red.
Right.
As we wait for that to get adjusted.
You're going to see them play pretty slow, however. Really trying to just get a play going and stall out the time. Since Caney know they're up, they have to get a goal themselves. So we are going to see Caney, or not Caney, Holdenville get it out, try and bounce it off. It's set in the middle, however, there is no one to get it.
Yeah, and there we go. Looks like everything is squared away now. Caney with this early lead, about 2.5 minutes left in this first game. Again, this is a best of 5, so there's going to be a lot of Rocket League to be played. We have to see how much adjusting is there. Looks like Caney trying to go for the slow drive. Doesn't have a whole lot of booster economy between their two players. Playing the check off of it, though. Holdenville's going to be able to get that defense, that clear backs in the middle. Mark looking to follow it up with a goal. One-on-one with Kirby, and going to be able to get that lift over Kirby and tie it up for Holdenville. Mark with a great floater down this mid lane, being able to sink it right into the goal.
You have to keep an eye on how much boost you're rolling. If they had boost, they were likely to be able to get that block. However, unfortunately, that is going to be a tie game at the moment. 2.5 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah, I felt like Caney had an opportunity there, just not a lot of booster economy between both players, and Holdenville's able to flip it very quickly. Once again, Holdenville with a lot of pressure here, but Caney sees an opening. Both players going on the offense. A little bit of a missed dribble there from Caney, but the follow-up from Giant Amazing is going to get Caney that lead again, immediately coming out and answering, stretching their lead to that 1-point goal. Holdenville still in striking distance, but a great opportunity seized by Caney, and Giant threading the needle between the Holdenville defenders.
It's a very good pass by Kirby, I would mention. That perfect pass to Giant and able to get it to a perfect spot to where Giant can just slip it in. Very well played on the side of Caney.
Yeah, definitely being able to set up their players in these duos so important, as we do see Caney now on the offensive a little bit, trying to get it out of this corner. It's going to be dribbled out by Holdenville. Once again, a little bit of a collapse on the defensive side for Caney. Caney's going to be able to get back, though, with a lot of booster advantage here. Kirby driving it up the corner, going to get cleared by Mark. Mark getting a complete clear, is going to be saved by Kirby, though, as it gets back around. Noah here, a little bit of the dodge on the corner. The ball's very elusive, so sometimes it actually, like, you just think a little bit too much about hitting the ball, just trying to play the mind games with your opponents. That is Rocket League for you. Mark trying to dribble it off this wall here, is on a 1-on-2, gets it past the first defender. Noah coming up for the second one, trying to get guarded by Kirby, but going to be able to get it knocked in on that defense. A really nice follow-up from Mark here, being able to play their ones, and just so much pressure. Kirby sitting in the back of this goal here, not going to be able to get up for that block. Yeah,
very unfortunate hit on the side of Caney. And it will, again, go back to a tie game with 1:15 remaining, as we see Caney immediately get it to Holdenville's side, maybe try and get a play going, but nothing comes of it yet.
Yeah, just so many opportunities here in these twos. If any defense collapse, there's not as many rotations that can come out. Noah trying to drive it up the wall here for Holdenville. Looking as we go under a minute here for this finish, trying to get it finished off by Mark. Not going to be able to get it. Kirby now has the drive up the left side of the field for Caney. Trying to clear it out of the corner. Giant looking for the slam. Not going to quite time it up right. Noah and Mark now with the collapse on the offense, and we see an easy goal for Holdenville, being able to defend that offensive possession from Caney and just take it back the other way for a free point.
Caney went all in on the offense, and it left them no room for defense, unfortunately, as Holdenville does get that score. We are going to see how this turns out directly into the middle. Looks like maybe Holdenville is going to get to the ball first.
Yeah, a little bit of a slow here. Holdenville with that advantage, 1 point up, 30 seconds left. Caney's still very much in this game, but Holdenville's just going to look to hold on to it, and looks like they want to hold on to it with a little bit of offensive pressure. Caney looking for the drive, gets a nice little air dribble over the Holdenville defense, not quite on line with the goal. Kirby trying to look for this reset, knowing there's only 15 seconds left, and they have to tie this to be able to force this game 1 to an OT. Holdenville, though, going to be able to take the ball possession and drive on the offense. Kirby with a very nice save here. 5 seconds left, and Holdenville just trying to play keep away at this point, not letting there be a possession, and they are going to do just that. Holdenville is going to be able to take that game 1, just 1 point over, and Caney led for a good amount of that game. Just Holdenville able to get a lot of those opportunities and a lot of those shots. We see the shot difference of 9-4 in favor of Holdenville, but still Caney only getting 4 shots on the goal, actually converting 3 of them, a very high conversion percentage there.
Right, I agree. And we are also going to mention the amount of saves that Caney had, and most of the goals that Holdenville did get against Caney was like either like very pushed up and trying to go for the aggressive, and Holdenville just saw that mistake constantly and just decided to capitalize on it, giving them that win. However, we're going to see what Game 2 has in store for us.
Yeah, I felt like in that game we saw a lot of collapsed defenses where these teams sold out to try and convert on a goal, and if they didn't convert, the other team was able to drive up the field with almost no pressure. So some very aggressive teams we have here trying to make these shootouts, and you kind of notice that from that 4-3 scoreline. Just really either these teams need to try and convert on that first possession where they don't have to play defense. I feel like a decent amount of the time we would see them miss the opportunity to get a point on the board,
right?
Or just not even go for those aggressive plays if they don't feel quite comfortable with it.
Yeah, and it's hard to make an aggressive play, especially when you're so vulnerable in the back. Like your goal is going to be wide open, so you need to be careful when you're making an aggressive play, because it's basically an all or nothing. If you mess up and you can't get the goal anymore, you're gonna need to use a lot of boost just to get back to the goal, and you also run the risk of them actually getting a goal.
Yeah, with less players on the field, that booster economy becomes that much more vital. Kirby with a nice little dribble up, a little touch at the end. Noah's going to be able to read it and get the clear, and Mark once again just a clear straightaway here for the Holdenville players as they try and set up a slow floater. Mark looking for the slam. Kirby going to be able to come back and pinch it off. Giant trying to take control of it in the corner. Once again, no booster economy here for Caney. Not going to be able to move very fast down the field. Going to get Holdenville an opportunity to move back up, trading ball possession back and forth as the first minute starts to come to a close here. Not as much scoring as we saw in the first one. A little bit more defense played. Very nice adjustments from both of these teams. Kirby once again trying to clear this up for Caney's side, getting onto the pressure of Holdenville. Holdenville with some very nice defense, though. Really not even giving an opportunity to Caney, and that showed in the first game with how few shots Caney actually got onto the goal. As some defense does come in here, an epic save from Kirby sitting in that goal from Mark, and now Kirby in a 1v2 as that demo gets reset. Looking for the dribble, Mark's left on his own, is able to get the clear all the way downtown, floating across the map. Mark converting defense to offense and gets Holdenville that first point.
What a shot. What initially became a save became a shot on the goal. Mark just stands still. That was...
I have done enough, yeah.
That was a great shot.
Yeah, I thought Holdenville was in a really bad situation with Caney having the 2-on-1 pressure there, but Mark seeing the clear and actually being able to line it up with the goal, converting that first point for Holdenville as we hit the 3.5-minute mark. Holdenville once again on the offensive here. Caney trying to play with a little bit more of a defensive mind here. Mark trying to go for a shot, doesn't quite get what they want. Into the corner the ball goes, and Holdenville still keeping the possession of it. Caney tried to go to possess it, maybe missed a couple shots, and Mark's going to be able to take advantage of that opportunity of the replayed possession and get that second point for Holdenville.
If I'm Caney, like, I'm noticing that they're playing very hesitantly almost. It's like they're trying to search for the right moment to try and take the ball and get it to the other side, which I feel is almost going to backfire since they're sitting there not really getting a whole lot of boost. And we seeing Holdenville, they have a lot of boost right now. Right now, Caney doesn't have a whole lot. However, seeming like it's going to work out. However, like I said, Holdenville is going to just get back there.
Yeah, and we didn't talk about this a whole lot, but Caney, this is actually their first game of the season, so maybe they're wiping off the rust that Holdenville had the opportunity to wipe off last season. Two shots from Mark, very, very close, not going to be able to get there. And Kirby just having a free open field there, going to be able to get a point back for Caney as they start clawing back into this lead. Really just a painful one for Mark, who had two really good shots on the goal, hits the crossbar on the side and on the top, gets Caney that first point.
And like I said, they looked for that perfect moment, and they got that perfect moment. It rewarded them. So, I mean, hey, if it works, it works.
Yeah, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. Caney once again trying to play a little bit of the defensive strategy. Going to lose possession in the corner. Kirby going to try and pick it back up, get a little bit of an offensive drive. A lot of booster economy for the side of Caney, but Holdenville going to be able to intercept that. Mark going crazy already with the hat trick here. All three of Holdenville's points. Reading the soft dribble and being able to intercept it over the top and get that third point for Holdenville. Really good play by Mark. Very heads-up play as well.
They're playing so patiently, yet also impatiently, if that makes sense. Because you could see where they're trying to definitely make a bunch of plays. You see Noah get a nice shot. Can Caney get it in time? Unfortunately not. But yeah, they're playing so patiently, yet so impatiently, to where they can just have it work out.
Yeah, I feel like Caney's stacking on their rotations a lot, really committing on the ball at the same time and not having anyone back to play defense. Once again, in these duos, you don't have that safety net like you would in trios of your goalie that rotates back. Not as often, at least, and it's really hurting Caney right now. Holdenville being able to get a lot of opportunities that way and a lot of points as well.
Right.
As we hit the 2-minute mark, a little bit of a missed attempt from Holdenville, trying to get that fifth point. Caney going to be able to drive out. Noah's back for the defense, though. Clears it to the corner. Ricochets back into the middle. Kirby's still stuck in the goalpost of Holdenville. Now Mark with a lot of booster and a clear pathway in front. Going to be able to get that next point for Holdenville. Holdenville running away with this game, too. Game one was a lot closer than this one, but Holdenville starting to get their mojo.
Yeah. They have to keep track of that booster. I feel like that booster is just going to keep really getting them. Since it's right now 1 in 5, most of the booster economy just isn't looking too hot for Caney. They just need to really figure out their booster situation. They need to either like start conservating it a little bit more, or just try and just keep getting those big boosts.
Yeah, and I feel like Caney, with a great opportunity,
Nice.
is going to be able to get a point. Just not even really committing on the ball a whole lot during that series, but the ball's possession slowly shifts to this corner. And Kirby, with a heads-up play on what was not exactly designed that way, going to be able to dunk it down, get that second point for Caney, who still has plenty of time on the clock, right under 90 seconds here. Definitely a lot of points that can be scored in 90 seconds. Just need to be able to see some opportunities like that go Caney's way a little bit more. Kirby looking to set this middle, try and get it past Noah. Noah's going to be able to clear and get the demo as well on Giant, making it a 1v2. And Kirby, who just tried to score the goal on one side, doesn't have the speed to get back on the other side. Holdenville using this defense and converting it to offense.
Very unfortunate demo. I feel like Giant could have maybe have gotten there if it wasn't for the demo, which shows how important demos are in this game. Because it's just a person out. Like, you can... Oh, no.
That's a hard goal to defend. Holdenville really feeling it now, being able to knock it off of the top and just judging that aerial bounce from the roof. Someone is passing their geometry class, and it's Noah for sure. Being able to get that 7 points for Holdenville. Very good play and off the tips. Those are the things that you see practiced in all of those scrimmages, just those tip drills and how the beginning starts. Mark looking for another point here already. Caney looking to try and get possession of this ball. They've been struggling to actually get a good hit on the ball. Kirby looking to dribble it out of the corner as Holdenville resets, playing on the defensive side. Mark trying to get past it. Kirby's going to get a little dribble pass. Tries to thread the needle again. Not going to be able to be there this time. Giant trying to get it in. Stalls it out in midfield a little bit. Only 38 seconds left with the 5-point lead for Holdenville. Holdenville still looking to extend their lead, though. And Mark's going to be able to hit another floater over all of Caney's defense and be able to get that next point for Holdenville.
Yeah, this is looking rough for Caney coming into this match.
I saw that floater and it reminded me of Isaiah Hartenstein of the OKC Thunder. That's like his go-to shot.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So
okay.
Shout out Isaiah Hartenstein. I love that we picked you up in free agency. He's been fantastic. Go Thunder.
Awesome.
Holdenville here with the 8-2 lead, only 20 seconds left. Game 2 pretty much all said and done, but Holdenville showing a lot more strength in this Game 2 than they did in Game 1, only getting the 1-point win, and just by the narrowest of victories. Caney going to try and build off something here in the last 9 seconds. Giant going to be able to get a good drive and scoop it in, making that gap a little bit narrower, but more importantly, showing that they can still contend and play into this next round.
I think that if Caney can get a lot of goals, this could snowball into the next match.
Yeah, I definitely, even just feeling that one goal go in near the end, you're going to feel pretty good about it. Caney getting a good offensive play, and it looks like they're just going to let the ball die here. Maybe Kirby going for a little bit of a play, but it's going to get nullified in that corner, confirming an 8-3 Game 2 win for Holdenville as they go to match point.
This is going to be a difficult game for Caney to win, but will we see the reverse sweep? I think it's possible.
I think so, too. I think Holdenville's done a really good job on being able to convert their defensive possessions into immediate offense possessions. I mean, we see Mark, who has those 10 shots on the goal. Just so much offensive pressure, and I felt like a lot of those we saw from long distance floating halfway across the map, being able to just constantly pressure, hey, I can put the ball in the net no matter where I am, whether I'm playing defense or going on a drive. And that was something that Caney really struggled with whenever they went on their offensive possessions, is that if they didn't convert, usually Mark was able to turn it around and get it all the way across the other side, scoring 6 points and winning MVP of that game too.
I think if I'm Caney, I need to start playing a little more aggressive than they are at the moment, because they're playing very, very almost like scared to like hit the ball. Like they're acting very hesitant to try and make a move, and I think that hesitation is really starting to get to them, because they need a way to like start this game off strong. They need a snowball effect, because if they can't get that, it's going to look rough for them in this Game 3.
I agree. I think a lot of the times when we see Caney finally get possession of the ball, we see them liking these soft dribbles where they try and just drive it up the side of the lanes and not doing any stronger hits to really take field position advantage.
Right.
And a lot of times Holdenville is able to come up with a lot of speed and get that quick flip from a slam hit on the ball and just completely take possession of the board. As we get into game 3 here, though, a little bit of hits back and forth, a lot of pressure on the Holdenville goal.
Into the mid,
Kirby, yeah, getting there just a second before being able to score that first point for Caney. And now Caney, 2 goals in a row if you count back to last round. Maybe they're starting to figure some stuff out.
Right. I think this could snowball into something good.
Yeah, definitely feeling good. Want to get any type of momentum right now.
Oh
This
my.
from Holdenville does have the defense there, though. Caney's going to have to reset here as Holdenville gets possession. Giant going to get skirted past, and a nice floater from Mark, going to be able to drive it down all by themselves, getting past both defenders of Caney and confirming that goal. And this is that soft dribbling I was talking about with that Caney likes to do. But Mark being able to weave left and right across the field and confirm that goal for Holdenville.
I think this could go any way. Oh, you see both people on Holdenville going for the ball. They're going aggressive as possible. They know that if they could keep Caney on like the ropes with their aggression, they could maybe close this out. We are going to see the ball just get guided in, but the respawn from Giant just in time from that demo, and it is going to end up getting them that goal. Very well played by Caney.
That was crazy because I feel like the Holdenville offender slowed up at the very end to make sure that they could solidify that shot, and it gave just enough time for the epic save to come out from Caney, and then gets converted to a point for Caney. Very big play there. Caney takes the lead 2-1 as the tip-off comes. A little bit more pressure towards the Caney side, but really midfield. Starts to go into the Caney corner. Not a lot of Caney defenders here. Giant's the only defender. Gets crossed by and is going to get dunked immediately by Noah. The assist from Mark in the corner. Really nice play. Very textbook play from Holdenville there. Being able to get by the one defender. And really either Holdenville player could have scored there. Being able to get that second point and tie it up 2-2 Holdenville Caney.
It seems like this is just going to turn into a trading game at the moment. We do see both of them, both sides on Caney just stay there to try and make a play. Go defensive and immediately 2 offensive.
Yeah, Caney looked to play the defensive side rather than actually commit to the tip. Had gotten punished by going for the kickoff a couple times. So I like that strategy, being able to hold back, relying on themselves to be able to play defense. A lot of booster economy here as we get into the offensive side. Both Caney players stacked in the goal, and a floater comes in. Noah trying to commit on it, not going to be able to get there. A little bit of a contest. Now Giant, no booster, but being able to walk up the field. Going to give up Holdenville possession, though. Kirby also going for a connect. Little floater off the corner. Starts to get towards the midfield, though. It's going to cause Holdenville to get the ball here. A little bit of a miss there. Giant trying to finish that one as well. Just so many of these possessions getting so close for Caney right now. Holdenville backs against the wall, going to be able to get a clear and a lot of open field, and Noah sees it with a lot of booster as well, trying to get the clear off. Not going to be able to quite get it into the goal. A little under 3 minutes left currently. A lot of offense right now. Both teams kind of need to refuel on these boosters, especially Caney. Holdenville with a little bit of booster economy advantage, getting these maxes in the corners. And a lot of clears just being on the offensive side causes Caney to use more booster. Caney starts adjusting for the defensive side. Very nice save there by Kirby. Floating it back to the Holdenville side. Holdenville with not a lot of booster on this offensive possession. Nice little floater over the top. And Mark, who has no booster at that time, can't go up to contest the shot. A really nice shot by Kirby being able to float it over the defense.
We went from going and playing very fast to playing a little bit slower, which I kind of like, since you can just if you control the tempo of the game, it's extremely strong, and Caney is right now kind of holding that tempo very well.
Yeah, this looks a lot more like game 1 for Caney, was exactly what you want to see, a lot closer game to be able to try and force a game 4 here. Kirby trying to play it out of this corner, going to be able to push it to midfield, get intercepted by Holdenville. Holdenville with not a lot of booster here. Trying to look for an opportunity, keeping this Caney pressure up. Both players committed on the ball for Caney. Mark trying to intercept it here, going to be able to get it back to midfield. Looking for a little bounce off the wall, floater towards the middle as well. A really good opportunity for Holden. Noah doesn't quite get the hit that they want on that ball. trying to look for the slam dunk. Giant committing all of their booster to try and hit this ball. Does miss it a little bit. Kirby trying to dribble it down to the middle. Mark getting cleared by Giant as well, making a very good opportunity. Mark tipping it back towards the middle. Such a slow ball rolling in front of the Holdenville goal. And it's going to be able to get committed by Kirby. A little bit of a deconstruction of the Holdenville defense, just getting picked apart by these micro moves, and Kirby being able to confirm that one for Caney.
That mid zone is always going to be a danger zone no matter what. If you have that ball in the middle, just assume that you need to get there.
Yeah,
otherwise, a goal is going to happen.
I was getting stressed just seeing that ball float in front of the Holdenville
Yeah.
goal. Like, man, how long could it stay there without getting cleared? But no, Caney is actually able to convert that up. Really nice offensive drive here for Holdenville. Only a minute left in this game 3. Caney with that 2-point lead, trying to make it 3, going to get a save from Noah here, though, and now Holdenville on the attack. Really needs to convert this if they have a chance of winning this game 3 and making it a clean sweep for Holdenville. But Caney is going to do anything they can to prevent that. Big clear across the side of the map. Caney now with another opportunity to score points, looking for the slam. Doesn't quite get it lined up. 40 seconds now. Holdenville trying to take possession. Noah getting it past 1. It's a 2-on-1 for Holdenville currently. A lot of booster committed to make it a 2-on-2. Kind of playing this slow game with chess. Kirby going to be able to clear it out. Not a lot of players there. Going to have to knock it away from the goal. Holdenville, time is not on their side. Currently, Caney just trying to drain that clock and play smart. But the collapse for Caney looking a little bit greedy for a point. Now going to be able to get a shot. Mark able to convert it with 17 seconds left. And there's an opportunity here for Holdenville to be able to tie up this game and force OT.
This is anyone's game. Can Caney start the reverse sweep? Or can Holdenville just close it out right here and now?
Yeah, this clock is the third teammate for Caney right now, but the tip very fast towards Caney's side. The defense there, though. Noah being able to get a tip off the corner over 1. Still a goalie for Caney, though. Trying to look for a second opportunity. Only 6 seconds left, and that clear towards Holdenville is going to make it really difficult. Actually going to get another point and all but confirm it for Caney that they are going to be able to get this round 3 win and force a game 4.
Very unique hit right there. I'm surprised that actually went into the goal. That was an interesting angle to be at, but Caney just made it work.
Yeah, and I think part of that was Holdenville playing so greedy, knowing they need that point. At the end of the day, the score doesn't matter. It just matters who wins the game, as this is going to be confirmed for Caney. But a little bit of a greed play there, trying to force that overtime. Doesn't get it, and of course we see another play, or another point go on the board for Caney. Shout out to Kirby with 100% of the goals for Caney in that game. 9 shots as well. Definitely understanding the roles between both Caney players that time. Giant playing that defensive side, making sure to consistently prevent any shots on the goal, with Holdenville actually getting more shots in the entire game, but Caney coming away with more points. Giant being able to have those saves and really play on that defensive side. That's how that scoreboard is defined for me. But, of course, Kirby with that MVP, 5 goals on 9 shots. Very effective game from them as well.
I don't think we should scoff at Giant. Giant got a couple of saves and really was in that goal just keeping their keeping the score decently low for Holdenville. I think that it was just a good synergy between the two and just really well played by them.
Yeah, I think something that I really saw that was a great adjustment by Caney in that game 3 is they were stacking on the ball really hard in game 1 and game 2. They would both commit at the same time, and it would cause, if the situation didn't go right for them, usually when you stack on the ball, it doesn't. A lot of the times, Holdenville would get a possession that felt very free for them.
Yeah.
Didn't do that as much in that third game, being able to play and say, Giant specifically saying, hey, Kirby, I think you're the better offensive player and I'm the better defensive player, so let's commit to those roles. As we see a little bit of collapse here, Mark is going to get a quick 12-second goal for Holdenville. Holdenville trying to close this one out. Didn't like giving up that third game and making sure they're not going to be able, or not going to be giving up the fourth.
The aggression is immediately coming out. This is do or die, I guess. I mean, Holdenville wants this game. We're going to see both of them push up yet again. They just want the aggression.
Yeah, those tips are so risky, especially when you commit so many players toward it. Holdenville doing the double commit. A nice clear here into the corner. Actually going to make it in from Noah from downtown off the wall. really nice clear. Again, that defense to offense, and I think it was something with the tip from the Caney player as well, actually going to line it up and make Holdenville get that second point. If you're a Holdenville fan, that's exactly how you wanted this game to start off.
Right, yeah, and that was just a very weird angle to hit, and they somehow made it work. Very well played by Holdenville as we go 0-2 in favor for Holdenville.
Caney trying to stop the bleeding right now. Holdenville trying to make it worse. Noah setting up in the corner. It's going to get cleared out, though. The bounce actually back towards the middle, and with no Caney players there, going to have a demo from Kirby. Slow it down, but Mark's actually going to be able to finish off 1v2 as well. Caney with the numbers advantage there from the demo, but Mark actually going to be able to see this bounce, which was a little bit of an odd bounce, and commit it in. Very nice heads-up play from Mark there to be able to stretch this to a 3-0 lead with only about a minute off of the clock.
I really liked the demo there, but it's unfortunate that Caney was not able to follow up on that, since they had Holdenville in an outnumbered battle for the goal.
And
as we see Holdenville get another goal.
Holdenville being able to blow this one open already. And you can kind of see the adjustment from Holdenville where they're not really committing super fast on their goals and going for the first opportunity, but they're going for the second opportunity once one of the Caney defenders commits and is able to fake them out. Noah here, though. Does miss it in the corner. Caney going to have an offensive possession. Mark going to be able to clear it to midfield, though. Caney trying to take repossession of it, going to go back into the defense in the goal. It's a really nice clear with not a lot of Holdenville players on the other side. Just a little bit slow here and a little bit off the mark. Speaking of Mark in the corner, trying to get this clear. A nice floater setting it up, ready for the slam dunk, just not quite there. And Holdenville, knowing they have such this lead, says, hey, we're going to play as slow as we can and just keep the ball away from Caney. That's the only way they can get back in this game. Caney trying to play defense and trying to make sure this gap doesn't get any larger than it already is. A nice clear into the midfield, going to hit off the right crossbar, floating up above the goal, looking for the commit, doesn't quite get there. And Kirby going to be able to get the second effort, get Caney on the board in this one with plenty of time left. Just a little bit of a miscommunication there from Holdenville, it looks like. Trying not to give up that goal, playing a little softer than they had in the first couple of possessions. Going to give up that point, but still chewing about a minute off the clock.
They need that teamwork and synergy that they had last game for Caney to be able to take this game and continue the reverse sweep. However, Holdenville is just putting them in a very awkward position. See Kirby, no boost, cannot follow up. See Holdenville is just going to clear it out. Very unfortunate area. It is going to be in mid. Is it going to be a follow-up? It is going to be saved, though. Kirby, no boost yet again. Boost economy is looking rough on the side of Caney.
Yeah, and on the side of Holdenville, starting to use a lot of it, but being able to refuel pretty effectively. Kirby looking to have a drive up here. Getting the bounce back towards midfield. Mark's going to knock it the other way. Slowly controlling it, kind of just tapping possessions back and forth, reading out the defense, making sure they don't give anything up. Giant with that clear towards the Holdenville side. Kirby going to look to try and convert this. Does get knocked away, though, from Noah.
Loses
and a very good knock, too, yeah. And from that 50-50, it's going to give Mark their hat trick for the Holdenville game, stretching the score back to that 4-point lead for Holdenville. Really making this difficult for Caney in this next 2 minutes, 3 seconds. They're going to have to play some spectacular Rocket League to crawl back from this one.
That was a very unfortunate 50-50 to lose on the side of Caney.
Yeah.
That was a rough way to get the ball knocked over onto their side. As we see another potential goal just getting tapped in by Noah.
Yeah, and that's a hat trick for Noah and an assist for Mark. Mark with this really soft touch here, trying to get it knocked in. Does go off the top crossbar, but Noah understanding what the play is and being there just in case that situation happens. Very fantastic play from them. Holdenville looking to try and get their first win of the season now. Up 6-1 with 1 minute 50 left. It'd have to take something miraculous from the Caney side to be able to stretch this, and what is showing is that it's not going to happen. Holdenville with another goal immediately, being able to play off of this corner, and the Caney commit on the first one thinking that it's going to be the goal, but actually the assist. Like I was saying, Holdenville's done a really great job of not committing on their very first shot that they do, looking for the second one instead from their teammate or from themselves, and baiting the Caney defender out of the goal at the beginning here.
Yeah.
Once again, Holdenville looking on the offensive side again. Also just looking to bleed time off this clock and walk away with an AW.
It's looking rough with the score gap between the two. And with the time so low, Holdenville might just need to keep it away from Caney in order to secure this win. However, Caney can do something in about a minute 15.
Yeah, I would take a lot. It'd take about a goal every 10 seconds.
It's possible.
But it is possible, but with every second that dwindles down, it's a little less possible, especially when Holdenville is keeping really good job on this side. Both Caney players sitting back on the goal, making sure that a point doesn't happen. Noah going to be able to bounce it back off and get it past both Caney players. Mark is there to set it up, and that is the third assist for Noah off of that corner. Really liking when these Caney players stack on the commit and being able to punish it as well. Holdenville going up 8-1 with about 30 seconds left in this game.
Yeah, this is not looking good for Caney. I think if I'm Caney, I would definitely try and keep that, or at least in VOD review, definitely look at the booster economy to be like, okay, what can we do differently in our future games? Because as we see, they've got little to no booster almost all the time. And it's really biting them. As we see, Holdenville is going to get another goal. No boost to try and defend.
Yeah, these the Caney players are really looking for these points to try and get back in this game and tend to double commit on balls and actually never get both of them on the contact. So one Holdenville nice touch and all of a sudden there's open field the entire map across.
Right.
Holdenville up 9-1. Really just waiting until the fat lady sings on this one. A little floater over the Holdenville goal. Maybe trying to get some feel-good points on the side of Caney and just making sure the score doesn't get any worse, but Holdenville is going to try and not let that happen. Love to get double digits here. Feel really good going into their next match, but it looks like that is going to be the game. In Game 4, Holdenville taking that 9-1 win, a very dominant one there. Mark with 14 shots on the goal in that one. Definitely blowing up offensively. That's going to be overall a Holdenville 3-1 win. Definitely a very dominant showing from them, showing, hey, we may have started 0-1, but it does not mean that we are not a team to be reckoned with. Very good statement, and for Caney, had some good things, especially in that Game 3, just trying to get a little bit more convincing there.
Right, and I think we've seen Caney play very defensive. I feel like that defensive play was almost like not there, especially just the lack of boost, being able to follow up on any offense or defense. I feel like if I'm Caney, like, we need to start focusing on those boosts.
Yeah, understanding their rotations a little bit more, playing a little bit more spread is probably the biggest adjustment that I saw immediately. Holdenville, though, being able to make all of those micro plays, those little dribbles, and get past their defender, that's going to make any defense really struggle during their competition. Holdenville doing a great job of accentuating those plays and really pushing out exactly what their strengths are, and we saw that today.
Right, I agree. And I think it's not over for Caney. I mean, hey, Caney can make amazing plays. Like, we've seen, they got a point up on them, and they played it very, very well. So it's this series is definitely not over for them. It's just one loss, and they can drag out, like, they can put teams in a very bad position.
Right. Those Game 2 and Game 4 slipped away from Caney, I would say, where the momentum just started getting in Holdenville's side, and they were able to run away with those games. But that Game 1, very close, 1 point game in a Holdenville favor. And Game 3, Caney won, so definitely be able to come back from that. But that is it for us today at the OESL. That was Holdenville versus Caney. Holdenville taking the win 3-1 in those games, and we will see you next time.